Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing fine. My name is Nasir, and I'll be trying to demonstrate how you can install VMware on the Windows machines. Regarding my introduction, I have an experience of 3 years in network security domain. I deal with the firewalls, Cisco switches, routers, endpoint security, and a little bit of the cyber security. So, starting with how you can install with the VMware Workstation, I'll just go to Chrome and type download VMware Workstation Pro for personal use. The moment I hit enter, it takes me to the official website, blogs.vmware.com. I'll go to this website, and the important stuff here is that I'll just keep it duplicated. I right click on it and duplicate. I'll use it later, and the reason why I duplicate it, I'll tell you later on. So I'll scroll down, click on the VMware Workstation Pro download. It takes me to the access.broadcom.com, and here I just have to register. I can use my login credentials here, but if you're using it for the first time, then you will always need to create an account because the package of VMware is only available on this portal. So you have to download it from here. So what I will do is I will create on this click here option, and then it allows me to have this option of register. I'll click on register, and now I'll just try to give my details. So what I say here is I say my email ID, and this should be JSRU. I click on next. Okay, it says you have to verify your email ID. Let me check for the verification code on the email ID. Okay, now if I go to the Gmail, all right, so there we go. So it should be 2262880. I'll verify and continue, and then it asks me to fill the details. I will put like my name here. Just make sure that all the options that have asterisk sign there, they're mandatory. You cannot leave them, otherwise you will not be able to proceed to the next page. It doesn't have the asterisk sign, so I'll leave it there. I'll type the password. Likewise, I will type another password. Okay, I accept the terms of use. I create an account. Okay, so it says, do you want to build the profile? I will say I'll do it later. I don't want to do it right now. All right, so it takes me back to the first page. I will now be able to log in here, and let me type the email. Next, it will just throw the prompt to, okay, I don't want to remember. I don't want it to remember me. This is the password. Okay, so there you go. You're able to uh, get to this page now. Now what I will do is I will come to the software option here, and you have a lot of options there, but you don't see anything related to the VMware workstation, right? The first option that you will keep here is you keep it VMware Cloud Foundation. And this also is important. Now, the moment you do it, you can go to my downloads. I do not have anything here because I have not downloaded anything. What I will try here is I will say VM, and it's a little case sensitive as well. That's what I have experienced. I will type VMware workstation. And I click on Pro. Now there are quite a few options here. I'll click on 17.6.1, which is the latest version. Please remember that you should always have this drop down changed to VMware Cloud Foundation, otherwise you will not be able to download this particular file from here. Okay, I click on agree, and the moment you click on agree to terms and conditions, you can see that this is available now, and it also says me that there is some sort of screening required. So I'll click on this. I said okay, uh, I'm up for the additional verification. Okay, I got all those details here. Let me type here. I'll keep it Bangalore for now, or maybe Karnataka. That's where I'm staying currently. I'll keep it Bangalore. Let me just check the code here. Let me use 530068, and I'll name it like Zalahali. That's fine. I say make sure that this is also this is already checked. I click on next. Oh, thanks. Okay, there you go. So you have passed the additional verification. Like I'll come back here. Now it says HTTPS download is available. If I go to the downloads, it's 448 files, 448 MBs of file. I'll just let it download. So let me just go to the notepad, just try to revise what we did. I say download VMware Workstation Pro in Chrome, go to the official site and choose VMware Workstation Pro. There are two options that you might be seeing. Another one is VMware Fusion, which is for the Mac users, I guess. So as long as you're a Windows user, you just have to click on this one, and then it takes you to the Broadcom site where you sign up. and then choose VMware Cloud Foundation as foundation. Go to my downloads and search with VMware workstation, and you get to choose. You got to choose VMware Workstation Pro, right? And then what you do is you check the required version and accept the terms and conditions. Next is you click on download option and do the additional verification. And then next, you land back on the page, on the download page, and there you go. There you go. All right, so this is the whole process. Just try to it like this. Share this text file later on with you. I have it here. I'll just double click on it to install it. Okay. I go to the downloads. I have it here. Anything pending? Now what you need to do is you need to run this particular file as administrator. Okay. Oh, I just clicked multiple times on this. That's what you guys should never do. You just click on it and then wait. I just try to cancel all of them. I click this one as well. Cancel this one so that I get to run it as administrator, because that's really important so that you get all the privileges while installing. So I right click on this and then say run as administrator. That is the recommended way to do it. Okay, it's doing something in background. Okay, preparing to install. What I say here is I say next, and then I accept the terms and license conditions. I say next. Okay, install Windows hypervisor platform. Is it something that I need to do? Let me just check it. Okay, I'll just leave it on the default for now. I click on next. At VMware Workstation Console Tools in System Path, I'll click on next. And then I click on next. Desktop startup menu. All right. You can install the VMware installation, click back to review, or okay, I'm installing it now. The important thing here that it actually tries to do is while you're installing this is it will download the virtual adapters with it, which will be bridged with the physical adapters of your PC. And that's how your labs later on work. Okay, I click on finish now. Now if I try to open it, VMware Workstation Pro, I open it. There it goes. So it says that do you have a license key for commercial use? And now that I'm using it for the personal use, I will just say I'm using it for personal use, and then I click on finish. So this is the setup that you have in the VMware. The important thing here is regarding the interfaces. You can see that this particular VMware just installed two adapters with it. One is the host only, and another one is native IP. And this is really important. So now coming to this particular thing, I'll just try to demonstrate it in chat, what it basically does in the background. Let me open the page. Okay, there you go. So let me just try to cover what the virtualization basically means. Imagine I have a big server. It has good resources, it has a good RAM, it has a good hard disk, right? And it also has CPUs, right? Uh, so I can virtually try to break it down, right? I can say that, okay, let me just virtually try to break it down so that I can use a single server and I virtually break it in multiple servers. Okay. This happened. Okay, back. It should be multiple servers. This concept is called virtualization. Why do you have a big server and you say that okay, I can virtually break it down into multiple servers. And the use case for that is if you have multiple operating systems that you want to work on, you get a single server and then keep one part of it for the Linux operating systems, keep another part for the Windows operating system and the other things as well. So this is the basic idea behind the virtualization, right? And it is, I mean, the use case for this is that you wanna optimize the resource utilization, and this is also cost efficient because you don't need different physical hardwares. You just get one and then try to uh, break it down, use it for different purposes, right? And that's how it is actually scalable and flexible as well. And the reason why you're able to do is because you have this concept of virtualization here, right? You created versions of physical hardwares, right? Now there are multiple ways of doing it. The one that you see here, if it's a bare metal, right? If it's a physical hardware here, it's not running on any other operating system, then this is type type 1 hypervisor, right? Now the question is, what is hypervisor? So hypervisor is actually a software layer that actually enables the virtualization. So the creation and operation of uh, multiple virtual blocks that you just created in this bigger block of the server is actually taken care by the hypervisor. So what you did was you had this big block, you created multiple virtual blocks out of it to use them for different purposes, and each block is actually called VM, which stands for virtual machine, right? And you're able to do it because of the hypervisor. So you broke it down because of hypervisor. And if you are doing it, running it directly on the bare metal, right, then this is type 1 hypervisor. Another way is, which we just did, I'll just try to open a new one here now. Another one is you have already one operating system. For example, in our case, we had Windows, right? And now what we say that we just installed VMware here, and then in VMware we'll be installing other things. For example, you will be installing evng, which is Ubuntu Linux, or we'll be installing uh, the Kali Linux, right? So these are again different operating systems. You're able to run them, but you already have one operating system running, and this is called host operating system, and these two are called guest operating systems, right? And this one here is hypervisor, hypervisor, and you call it type 2 hypervisor. There was a reason behind that because you're running it on top of an existing operating system. In the earlier case, it was just a bare metal, which was sort of a server. You just installed one hypervisor there. On the bare metal, you can use Hyper-V or ESXi, and then you sort of created virtual blocks out of it, which are actually called VMs that you want to use for the different purposes, right? And you did it. You were able to break that down with the help of something that's called hypervisor, right? And if you're doing it on the bare metal, it is type 1 hypervisor. If you're doing it on an existing operating system, which is our case, where we just installed the VMware, which sort of acts as a type 2 hypervisor, then this actually becomes the case of type 2 hypervisor, right? So I'll go back to the VMware. I click on edit, I click on the network, virtual network editor. You see that it just installed two virtual adapters, right? Uh, the question is, what are these two adapters doing? Let me come back to the chat, come back to the paint. So VMware just installed two adapters, right? And one of them is NAT. So this NAT one will always be bridged with the available physical adapter, or you can say active adapter, active adapter of your PC. And that is the reason later on when you're trying to do labs in your VMware, you just try to install UNG, or you want to try to install Kali Linux in the VMware. It's the VMnet 8, VMnet 8, which will be able to assign IP addresses to your VMware with the help of a NAT cloud, which has which is actually called as yeah, it for now it's NAT cloud, right? So VMnet 8 is going to assign IP addresses to your VMware machines, all the VMs that you run in the VMware, right? And if they want to talk to the internet, since this particular VMnet is bridged with the available adapter of your PC, so they get natted and then they get out of your machine to the internet, whichever the route is available. So this is the basics of the VMware and how you install it. If you have any questions, you can let me know. Yeah, thank you so much for your time. Please take care. Bye.